Good morning. Once again, it is time for Trust Matters, Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions with Sean Robertson of Gateville Law Firm. They're located in Yorkville and they're online at gatevillelawfirm.com. Sean is with us again in studios. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today, Mike?
Doing pretty good. Today we want to get our listeners a little bit more information on some tips that have to do with real estate. And we're specifically looking at buying out siblings after a parent's death in the state of Illinois. So this is could be a complicated thing, right? When you get the kids involved and everything else in a tough situation. Some tips we want to pass along here.
Yeah, and it's important because, a lot of times brothers and sisters, it deals with them, and, who's going to buy the family home can be a sensitive subject, especially after a loved one dies. It's not exactly a time where people are celebrating.
Yeah, for sure, and it's important to kind of get everything squared away so that it's as smooth as possible. So what's step one when we're trying to get this out, or I guess the first tip?
Yeah, I would say the first step is to establish a fair market value or price. Is there going to be a property appraiser? There's licensed appraisers that will determine the value of a property. And the second way, obviously, and we have a real estate transaction going on right now involving 3 kids where they came up with their own price. That's obviously a good way because you avoid the cost of an appraisal.
And how accurate can that be compared to what a professional would do? Is it something that can be a problem if they're doing it on their own? They want to avoid that cost, sure, but...
Yeah, appraisal's always good. It just depends on the relationship the siblings have. Some families are okay with the property not being appraised at the real value. It just depends on your family. Some people want to... They don't want any hard feelings, so it's better to hire an independent third party. And then some people will just look on Zillow and they'll just figure it out together as a family. It just really depends.
Probably a lot different now with technology the way it is than a generation ago, and you can't count on that online ability to do stuff quickly and easily.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the first step in. At least if you do a property appraisal, you have a clear and impartial understanding of the property's worth. And I also think there should be a question asked too, because I hear this a lot where, let's say a property's worth $300,000, but maybe the condition of the property needs some work. And with the normal transaction, you may have a home appraisal where they take $2,500 off that. So because there needs, there's mold. So I think those are the type of decisions that we help people decide. Some people want to go that route and some people don't.
Is the natural step, if they're doing their own appraisal, does it then usually go towards it's going to be a cash transaction from that point?
A lot of times, but not all the time. Sometimes they'll go to a lender, and if they need a lender, we can refer them to a reputable lender. It just depends. Like we have a deal now where the family's paying cash. So sometimes somebody has the ability to pay cash, and sometimes they don't.
All right. What about tip 2?
Yeah, tip 2 is, I would say, whether you're going to hire a real estate professional or you're going to enter into a residential real estate purchase contract. So with the deal that we just did, I put together the multi-board residential real estate contract, which was the 7.0, and it basically has the key terms and conditions, the purchase price. In this case, we decided to not do a survey, and so when one of the siblings buys the property, they know that it's got insurance in case there's problems. Where one of the heirs, in this case, they're all in a hurry. The one person wants to go to Hawaii and I guess get out of this cold weather real quick.
Yeah, get that title insurance for sure. Tip 3 has to do with the tax ramifications.
Yeah, so a lot of times I hear people say, you know what, maybe mom or dad they're close to their demise, and there's a question of, okay, I'm just going to give the property to Bob, for instance, right now while they're alive. That may not be the best solution, and the reason why is because Bob, in that case, may have a capital gains situation. So let's say, for example, mom gives it to Bob, one of their sons, and the property was bought for $50,000, and so the property, let's say, is worth $300,000. So if Bob inherits mom's $50,000 tax base. So if Bob wants to sell the property, Bob's going to have a significant capital gains tax. So a way around that is if the mom or dad gives Bob that same property upon a death, and that could be through a revocable living trust or some other mechanisms, Bob eliminates the capital gains because there's an exception to the tax rule where Bob gets the fair market value of the property at the time of death, which, I mean, that could save $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000.
And then Bob's a happier man right there.
Correct.
With saving that. That's for sure. And this is all the stuff that Gateville Law Firm can help you with, and we hope you have a chance to talk to them and get more information, because some of this stuff is complicated and you don't want to miss any of these key steps that could save you a lot of money too and a lot of headaches. Gateville Law Firm with Sean Robertson. They're online at gatevillelawfirm.com. You can call 630-780-1034 and join us every week at the same time for Trust Matters Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions.